Hey everybody, what's up? It's Courtney with Mystic Moon. We're gonna show you the process of making rail spike blade sheaths today. We start by rolling out a big roll of leather. We use Economy 5/6 veg tan. We roll out the entire roll of leather. Then we line our patterns all up, as you can see I'm doing there. Then I'm going to trace them. This part right here I'm cutting off will be saved for welts. And I always try to keep them in a straight line because it makes the entire process so much easier. If you start like getting them going on a curve, it can make the entire process really difficult. But there's really never any scrap leather that goes unused. These big pieces we use for welts or sometimes coasters, sometimes hair slides. So now I've got my line and I'm going to trim that piece off of the hide so I can cut it into smaller pieces. Typically we try to section them into 4 sheaths, but that part of the roll was a little smaller, so I think I had a set of 2 and a set of 4 there. Those will be set aside to be die cut shortly. And we just do that over and over again until we get all the sheaths that we're working on that day. We typically try to do between 80 and 100 blade sheaths in a day. So I'll let you watch that and I'll be right back. Now that we're all done cutting those out, we're gonna use the 8-ton press and die cut them so we can logo emboss them. This press is truly a wonder. We had much smaller hand presses for many years, and our employer very graciously upgraded us to this beautiful press. This comes from Weather Leather. It's American made. And it is the best darn press I've ever used. It's got that wonderful swing arm. We call her Ruby. She is a beast and we love her dearly. So die cutting is kind of like cutting a bunch of cookies out of cookie dough. You're just punching patterns out. Sometimes the die, maybe I didn't press it hard enough in a spot, or maybe that part of the blade is dull. You just have to kind of trim it out a little bit there. You don't want to rip it because it can really fray the edges, and then that makes the sheath look really messy. So I'm lining it up there again at the very far edge, and we'll cut that out, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. That long arm on the press too really is nice because it absorbs a lot of the tension on your arms. Doing this, you know, every day, you can your arms really get sore after a while, so that nice long lever there really helps things. You'll see me kind of line up that die cut with the very edge of the sheath. That's to make sure that we're getting the most use out of this piece of leather. I also try to get it in the center of the press. That way there's even weight distribution and I don't have to press it as many times. It typically takes about 3 presses, one on the front end, one in the middle, and one on the end to get it cut out. Whereas on our old hand presses, it often took 5 or 6 presses. Once we get all of the leather pieces die cut into sheaths, we're going to logo emboss them. It's pretty easy. Again, this press makes everything so much easier. Get a nice clean emboss. Everything's very even. Again, on the hand presses that we used to use, sometimes if you didn't get it perfectly aligned in the center of the press, it would make half the logo really indented and the other half really hard to see. So this press just has so much more consistency. Now that we're done logo embossing, we're going to die cut some welts out. The welt helps prevent the blade puncturing through the side of the sheath. And this is what we use a lot of those large pieces of scrap for. It just makes it so much faster to be able to cut out, you know, as many welts as you need. If we're making 100 sheaths, we need 100 welts. I'm actually going to point out something here that I should not have done, but I did for the point of recording. See how I just used that screwdriver on that press plate? That's something I typically will not do again because I don't want to dent that press plate. That plate is, I think it's like an $80 plate, but you just don't want to dent it up unnecessarily. So typically I'll use that wooden work surface there to get the welt out of the die. That about wraps it up for this part of the video. Stay tuned for the second part where we'll glue, sew, sand, and burnish the rest of the sheath. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe for more content.